I want an abortion but my partner doesn't. Update. TW. Abortion. Pregnancy. Blood. Know-it-all mother. I am up. I want an abortion but my partner doesn't. July 2022. My partner and I have been together for 2 years. About 3 days ago I, 20F, found out I was pregnant. I laughed manically and started crying. My first thought was, where is the nearest clinic to get rid of it? My partner, 24M, just hugged me until I calmed down. I've been to many doctor's appointments. Had a scan and everything is fine. I don't want this. I want to be able to live my early 20s. I'm 6.5 weeks along. Within this time I've been drinking. I vape and have smoked a bit. I think my mental health will suffer if I go through with this pregnancy. It's what my partner wants and it's what my parents want. I'm feeling so conflicted on what to do. My mom says that she doesn't agree with termination. But it's my body, my choice, but she's manipulating me by using scare tactics on how my mental health will suffer, how I'll regret it and how I'll ruin my fertility. My partner was completely supporting me when we initially found out. Then he had a couple of days to think and now he really wants this baby. He's trying to convince me that I will be a great mom. And is questioning if I will ever be ready for a child. The thing is that I know I will be a great mom. I have no doubts. I'm a bit annoyed that he's questioning my want for children. Yes, I want them, I just don't feel like now is the time. I have 3 years left of my degree and I know that my university has plans and support systems in place to help me finish it while pregnant. I don't want to take an extra 12 years to finish my degree. I want to be drinking in my 21st and I want to do all the amazing things planned for New Year's. I can't imagine myself pregnant right now. It feels so surreal. I think we will struggle financially and I know I'm blessed with support systems and a house already. I truly believe that if I carry this pregnancy through, I will resent this child in some way and my mental health will suffer. At the same time, while I don't imagine having a 5-year-old in 5 years, I also wonder if it will be a huge mistake. 3 days ago I was so sure about wanting an abortion. And now with my family and my partner's opinions I constantly feel like I'm second-guessing myself. Up until today, I felt like I was screaming at the top of my lungs about what I wanted, but just wasn't being heard. Last night I laid everything on the table with my partner and he was quiet for the evening and most of today. We finally sat down and he said he loves me and he won't leave me. But he respects my decision. I know he wants this. I know I don't, but at the same also have no idea. Has anyone gone through a similar situation who can offer advice on how to navigate this difficult time? TL. Dear, I want to get an abortion but my partner doesn't. And now I'm confused on what to do based on other people's opinions. Edit. I don't live in America. I live in New Zealand. And yes, it was protected sex. Edit. My partner is amazing. Obviously it may not seem like it in this post, but he loves me and I know this without a doubt. Even throughout this hard time he has never stopped taking care of me while I've been sick over the past few days. This is hard for the both of us. And as much as I know it's my choice, it's still a discussion to have with him. And while he may not have been everyone's favorite, he's still a beautiful soul. Update. First off, I would like to say thank you to everyone in the comments. I felt so safe to talk about my feelings. And all the advice was appreciated. So, it's 2 months later and I am not pregnant anymore. I decided to get a medical abortion just before my 9 weeks was up. Making the decision was difficult, but it was only difficult because of everyone else's opinions. It's the best decision I have ever made. My partner and I had a long chat over multiple days. Although he wanted to keep it, he knew I wasn't ready and supported me 100% when I booked the appointment. My mother sent me a novel, including photos of a fetus from 89 weeks. continued to tell me she loved and supported me while manipulating and berating me. I have since set communication boundaries with her. Leading up to getting the abortion, I was heading to my parents' place for my sister's birthday. At this time they knew I was pregnant. It was still relatively fresh. I decided to go under the conditions that we don't talk about it and that absolutely no baby things were to be bought. What happens, you may ask? My mother tells me she has a few things for me for the baby, and I told her she wasted her money. That caused an explosion. My mom knew where I stood with being pregnant. I didn't want it. I wasn't ready. My grandmother, who is more conservative and Christian than she is, said, "I don't agree with your decision, but I love you and will always be here for you," and she was there every step of the way. The medical abortion wasn't that bad. Bit of cramps and a lot of clotting. I ended up losing a lot of blood and had to go to the hospital where I was on the cusp of a blood transfusion. My partner was there with me and updated my dad for me. Obviously he told my mother, and while she was concerned, she made comments about if I had kept it I would have almost died. LMAO. Anyways, that's that. I'm living life and finishing my degree. I've made the honors list and I'm so proud of myself. I don't regret it at all. So again, thank you to literally everyone who supported me without even knowing me. It was a difficult time and I felt heard. On to bigger and better things. I googled, and New Zealand legalized abortion in 1978. Grandma is definitely old enough to remember illegal abortions, or knows women who had to get married, etc. Perhaps she is one herself. I bet dollars to donuts that when Op announces a pregnancy she wants her mother will be, "Are you sure you aren't going to kill this one too?" Quote, "And every year on their birthday, aren't you glad you didn't kill them?" Because she seems like that type of asshole. I'm glad my Southern Hemispheric sister could get the medical care she needed and had the support of her partner and her grandmother, even though she didn't agree with her choice. I love when people use the reason, "think of your mental health," as an argument against abortion. Like, have you met a pregnant woman? Have you met a pregnant 20-year-old who didn't really want the kid? Have you met a 21-year-old with a fresh baby? Like, yeah. Think of your mental health and how much it will suffer under the strains of having kids too young. And against your better judgment. I'm glad she stuck to her decision and had it early enough to do a chemical abortion. I've had 2 children, planned, and 1 miscarriage, unplanned. Knowing how difficult parenthood is, even when you plan for it, I would never wish an unplanned pregnancy on anyone. I'm so happy she stood by her decision. So much yes. I had my first baby at 20 and I'm 36 now. I've had more than 1 abortion from contraceptives failing me, and I don't regret any of them. Really disappointed in the mom who looked at her 20-year-old daughter with 3 years of university left and decided the best thing she could do was try to manipulate her daughter into staying pregnant. And by disappointed I mean incandescently angry. Almost exactly 30 years ago, I was in the same position as Op. Years of college left and a deep knowledge that I wasn't ready. I got an abortion and am so glad I did. It was unequivocally the best option for me. Love to you, Op. I'm so glad you were able to make your choice and be supported by most people through it. Don't forget what you learned about your relationship with your mother. That problem isn't going to go away with this issue. It will crop up again and again in your life, and it's best to figure it out right now. For your own mental health. I met a woman recently who had an abortion and said to never tell anyone you're pregnant unless you want to keep it. Every single abortion post on Reddit confirms that this is the right move. Fuck OOP's mom. And thank goodness partner got his head of his ass and out of her uterus. I have a toddler. As far as I'm concerned, mental health will suffer the most if you are forced either way. No one should be forced to have a child. How could mental health be better by being tied down when you're not ready? Talk about guaranteed PPD. But being forced to have an abortion, no matter the age or circumstance, is also horrendous. Imagine spending your whole life wondering what might have been. Taking away choice is always the worst outcome. Oop made the right choice for herself, and I am proud of her. Very grateful that New Zealand's Jacinda Ardern is on the right side of this issue. It's so strange to me that people who think abortions will affect your mental health don't seem to consider the dire mental health consequences of pregnancy and suddenly rearing a child you didn't want. You did the right thing. And it's okay if you someday have a bit of regret. Just know that right now, this was not the time for you to be a mom. All the anti-abortion people will tell you of the regret, but I know a lot, and I mean a lot of women who had an abortion. Because I'm vocal about pro-choice, I'm confided in a lot with my circle. And the primary feeling was relief, not regret. Any guilt came from outside. From others. From how others made them feel. One person said, "There's no worse feeling than being pregnant when you don't want to be." So glad that Op had this choice and mom wasn't able to bully her into keeping an unwanted pregnancy. As an American woman, I'm just so angry that most women here no longer have the choice. Op, good luck in your future and glad you were able to make the right choice for you. You go, girl. Do what's right for you. This hit a little close to home for me, and it was sad to read. I'm glad I was able to make the right decision for them. I found out I was pregnant late, and there wasn't a clinic near me that would even see me at 10 weeks. I feel like I ended up convincing myself I was ready for a child and I was okay keeping the baby, but I wasn't. I love my child and I do everything I can to be a good mother, but there are a lot of days that I deeply wish I had been able to make the choice I wanted instead of the choice I felt like I had to make. Yay for you. Good job. I'm so happy you took your mental health and well-being first. Dean's List? Fu and Ing, fantastic. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing your story. What I would tell them if this were a current post. I don't want this. I want to be able to live my early 20s. I'm 6.5 weeks along. Within this time I've been drinking. I vape and have smoked a bit. I truly believe that if I carry this pregnancy through, I will resent this child. My mother had me just before she turned 22. She told me my whole life that she resented and regretted me. Kicked me out at 14 and left me homeless. Smoked so much that I was either born with or shortly after developed COPD. I've never smoked but still suffer from it. Please do not bring this child into this world if your heart is not in it. Regardless of what the prolifers think. I didn't ask for this. And your potential future child doesn't deserve it. I'm glad they went through with it. I'm glad the partner was supportive. It's hard to tell how people will react with something as emotionally charged as a pregnancy, abortion. For my part, I think she made entirely the right decision. If the thought of having a baby makes you want to scream, not in an overwhelmed, happy way, and that continues, it's better to wait. I'm sorry the mother was so awful. If you're not going to support your kid, don't pretend otherwise and try to manipulate them. Just an awful person.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.